As I've been asked for January to do a jam for Black Techno Matters, I thought it was a cool thing to just make a video out of it. So the video's up on Black Techno Matters on Instagram, but it's a 9-minute jam, and let's go over what it is today. And I've called it Real-Time Techno Production. That's going to be this video. Are you ready for it? Let's go and do it right now. Hey, what's up, man? Kitchen, and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Stick around till the end of this video. I will tell you all about the Dollars Bible. There's a new edition, a new update that I have uploaded. But you can find that on patreon.com/analogkitchen. So yeah, check that out. Now, as said, I was asked by Black Techno Matters, actually Tavarsi reached out and said, Lucian, would you like to do a live set? A little bit of a jam, make it 2 minutes. Yeah, that didn't work. I did a jam, was 9 minutes, and those 9 minutes taught me a few things. It gave me a few different ways of stuff that I did, that I've been doing for a long time in a certain way, but over the last weeks, I have a few epiphanies. Something that really dawned on me, and I'm going to share that with you. So first of all, let's go and listen to what that jam was all about, and afterwards I'll come back and I'll explain in depth what I've done. You ready? Let's go. So what you would want is for something to be very hands-on, and hands-on means there's a different way of looking at your live set. You can really play a lot of stuff yourself. You can just have synthesizers do random stuff. You can just play clips, or you can just like wing it and just loop stuff. There's so many different approaches as to how you can do your live set, and I think I've got a bit of a hybrid between all those styles. So which style to perform live is the one to go for. That's all dependent on your workflow, your way of thinking, the way you would like to handle it. Now, in the jam that I just did, let's go over what happened. I started with the 909. The 909 is being routed through this desk. The two blue faders are the two kick drums. One is a kick that's coming from here. That's the kick. That's one kick. This is the other kick. That's both of them together. You can hear they're fighting in terms of frequency attention. Nice. So that's the kick coming from the Octatrack on track 1. Muscle memory, I always stick the kick on track 1. Track 1 kick, you can't go wrong with that. And then next to it is the 909 kick. Now, the drums are being split out into 3 different channels. 2 making up the stereo for the outputs, so the heads. All that good stuff, all that really nice makeup stuff that's coming from the Octatrack, and then the heads, ride, clap, and kick obviously is coming from the 909. Now, if I was to start this thing the way I just done it, I'll just open up a clap, and slowly I will ease myself into getting a level, because I'm not sure on how loud it's going to be in the club. I'm just not sure. So I'm trying to tone it down a little bit, and I will not open the fader up completely, knowing for a fact that if I'm going to stick it like here, if I'm adding the kick, that kick is definitely going to really make an impact. As you can hear, turn it down a little bit with the gain so I can fully open up the fader. That's important. I would like to gain stage everything on top of the mixer so I can just open it up completely. Now, what I really love about the 909 is that ride cymbal. As you can see, I just made a different move, right? So I open that up, and at the same time I move the kick out of the way so that the full attention is going to be on the ride. And now I will enter the kick back in. Gives you an extra step in your transitioning to a different part. Now I'm thinking, that clap, I know it already. So there's a few things that are on predictable places. The kick and the ride are doing that house techno kind of vibe, right? So that's working. There is another head that I have to complete that house cycle. That's this. As you can hear, right? So now we're slowly listening to the Octatrack, and then adding in the ride, which is a little aggressive, but it works. So that's nice. So now we've got everything sitting on a grid that works, right? Track 4, tap, 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 tap. Very clear. Track 1, you can see this kick. Yeah, it's muddy because I've got like rumbles in between. Bam, 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 but it does so much like a galloping horse. I have programmed that kick there. Why does it sound like a rumble? Well, I've altered the volume on the off-beat kicks. So anything that's not stuck to the 15913 grid is lowered in terms of velocity. So when you talk about the kick, this trig right here, it should be full velocity. when I'm looking at this trig, for instance. Can I get out of there? No, I can't see where the volume is. As a rule of thumb, upload 50%, so of the volume is there. Now I can now play around with these different rhythms, and because I've got the thing going, I'll stop it. 1, 2, 3, back in. Cool. Because I think I heard some lag being introduced. When I'm looking at the hats for the 909, now this is an interesting thing because they will become very aggressive once I open up the decay. And the decay on that's the whole trick. So I'll play around with certain things. Let's get the right out of the way and play with the hats. Now instantly, if you can hear, there is a call and response that has started between the hat that we had on the Octatrack and the hat that we have playing right now. And I love to do it that way because this hat on the TR909 is drowning out this hat here. And I deliberately not made this hat too high in terms of frequency. So the hat on the Octatrack is not too bright, because if I'm adding in this high here, you hear that they're pretty much in the same ballpark. So the information that is on that more muffled hat coming from the Octatrack will now get embedded into that hi-hat here and in the 909 hi-hat. And if I want to get them out of the way, I will use my hat decay. So I've got this pattern, as you can hear. Now, and I've done something different. I'm playing around with the open hat in a spot where you would place the closed hat and vice versa. So you can hear that the closed hat does bap, bap. And it's pretty aggressive now that I open up the decay. So I'm going to close the decay. Open up the decay on the open hat. Do you still hear the hat that's playing off the Octatrack? Alright, so that's a groove pattern that I did with my hats. Very Detroit oriented techno. In Detroit they really used to have the funkiest hat patterns. Now, before anyone starts calling this pattern boring again, this is for sake of education. I'm not here to show you how I can program the 909 because that's not this video. This video is a rundown of why I use certain elements. So if you think it's boring, thanks for watching. Scroll along. Let's not waste each other's time here. But if you really like getting into the vibe and you want to know what's happening, this is how I work my live set. I value anyone's opinion, so don't be a stranger. Let me know what you think of it. Cool. Another pattern that I use is the hand clap. The hand clap has to also do something funky, right? And level-wise, you have to always blend it. Now, rule of thumb, I told you before, I will gain stage it to a point where I can open the fader completely, but this is my absolute max gain, right? The jigsaw puzzle should work if my gain is set. I will not tamper with it. Pitfall is when people get enthusiastic within their set, they're really going for more gain, and in the end of the day the sound tech goes like, what is happening? It's unmanageable. So you have to keep in mind that it's very important to understand that once you set this, you should chop off your hand and never ever touch it again for the duration of that live set. Throw it back later, or if something really doesn't work or something has happened here, you screw down with levels that you need to alter, but during sound check this should work like a jigsaw, right? Now this is one rhythmical pattern. Let's go to another one with my clap that plays. As you can hear, there's a little bit of groove already on my 909. Now there's no groove. Let's exaggerate so you hear there's more groove. You can notice it by listening to the claps that are, certain claps are just crawling closer and closer together. Zip, but I'll keep it on 2, so that it's not too steady, not too straight, still has a little bit of groove. This is 1. I'm holding shuffle, by the way, so and now I can get to set the shuffles. 3 could work, but it's getting too playful to my liking. So I like to have a blend between 1 and 3. This is 1. Tap-a-tap-up, tap-a-tap-up, and 3 is rap-a-tap-up, and I'm going for 2. So just leaning in, just solid groove. Okay, that's on the shuffle, the 909 shuffle. This thing got its own groove because of the way it works. Its inner workings. When you got stuff that's heavily embedded on chips, relying on the clock, it will be very predictable. That clock will always do the exact same thing, no matter what happens. As long as nobody screws around with the current and this thing keeps running, it should always be the same measure. So you see these lines right here on the 909. It's much like a grid in your computer once you can record something in. That means that the Octatrack, probably when it plays back the kick will always be on 1, bam, 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 bang on the line. It will always be straight on that grid. And then 909's fault turned out to be a power where the distribution of power within that power supply, and bless you, the 909 does its best to reproduce it as tight as it can, but it's not tight at all. In terms of that groove, it's constantly moving and shifting, so a kick will be a little bit before the grid or a little bit after the grid, or sometimes almost on top of the grid. You can record a 909 for days and probably you'll see that the kick is never really 100% on the grid, and that makes it alive almost. Can you say that? Probably. So I love that. And then I like to play with the different kind of characteristics between those boxes. So I love to look at the Octatrack and see what it does, and knowing that this is fairly straightforward. So if you want to add groove or a little bit of live stuff or a little bit of character, this is what I can deem this as, you'll notice that you'll have to manually do that. Okay, moving on. So let's lower the clap and see what we got for drums on the Octatrack. Now this is loop based for me, except for the kick, obviously. I'm playing the kick. Tap, 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 tap. So now I've got a head loop that plays up. So there's a little bit of a I'm liking that, right? So then there's not something else that I can use that I really enjoy. That is a little bit more of a percussion loop, but it's very dominantly there. So I have to really sparse it out and not play it all the time. Play the kick first. Add in the hats by the 909. Open up the decay on the closer. Yeah. I like to use this as a brush. More brush. Cool. Now I'm going to add more percussion in. Listen to this. So there's a little bit of a melody, percussive melody that's already starting. This will invoke hypnotism. This is where you really space out your crowd. If you got a blissed out crowd, they'll probably really going to like you doing this kind of vibe. So that's why I always like to add some stuff like that into it, right? Let's go back for the kick and go 1, 2, 3, and. So there's 3 things you can follow already. So it will never get boring, right? Right, simple. And the right symbol, I will use that with the pitch. So there's a pitch knob, there's a level knob and a pitch knob. Same goes for the crash. But the crash we're not using right now. So the pitch knob will make that ride go higher and lower. Now it's on the utmost lowest setting. But I'm going to elevate the track a little bit. See how it affects the heads as well? As it becomes thinner. Oh. Let's set it here. Add some claps. Ooh, that's nice. So the clap saturates the groove pretty fast, so I have to always look at that level. So I'd rather go in a little bit softer with the clap rather than louder, because the clap is pretty aggressive. So let's stick it here. And the rule of thumb again is, can I hear them all? Can I distinctively hear the different elements within my groove? That's my head. My clap. That's pattern number 2. Pattern number 3. So there's a lot happening, right? And if you introduce it in a logical sense that people get accustomed to what's playing, it will not sound overcrowded. So you have to not do too many things too soon. Really take your time and contemplate your next move. For instance, only function. I'm going to take out those and I'll play track 7. And lowering my 909. I got another. Let's do that with the heads. I'm counting the ride as a head as well. Now I'm going to lower the pitch again of the ride. Nice one. A little bit of reverb. Kick back in. And once you get that pattern in your head, I'll probably take out the ride and put the clap back in. That's how it becomes very groovy, right? Very groovy, straightforward kind of vibe. I think it's time to introduce some music. I will open up the Microfreak right here. Now there's a few things happening on the Microfreak as well. As I'm playing around with the few knobs, I will play the sequence that I have, which I think was here. And all of a sudden it becomes a different. This is going through the space echo, by the way. So the effect that you're hearing is the space echo. Let's turn it off. That means there's no delay. And now there's no reverb. Let's shorten the notes. So we can really clearly hear what the effect is going to do. Let's listen to it. We're going to add delay first, right? Listen. Why is it on the beat? How is that possible? Well, there's a tap tempo button right here. Let's go for straight 16s. I'm not really accurate here. Cool. Yeah. Nice to do for a drop. You want to get a little bit more sensational, a little more exotic with your timing, then you can add different measures in. I will go for this. Triplets, right? So that means I have to go like Now you can hear there's a trill. This is how you get a really dub reggae kind of vibe. Cool. That's my delay. And this thing is flexing its muscles because there's reverb as well. Which you should not open up too far, mind you. Let's play like this so you can really hear the reverb. I've EQ'd it a little bit, took out some bass, added some treble to make it a little bit more bright. Listen. So, there's nothing here. There's a little of it here. There's a little of it here. And there's a little of it here. So the 7 to 10 or maybe 930 dial doesn't really do anything, but listen what happens if you go from 10 to 12. It's even altering my attack transient, so this knob you should be very careful with. I'd like to add a little bit of room or space or atmosphere or get the thing in its own sort of reality and then add in some delay to see how this works. Let's try that out. Nice. The intensity is the decay or the release knob. So opening this up means that delay will never stop. And accumulate. Listen. See? That's what you want. But it can linger on a little bit, alright? Are we ready to engage some more bass drum? Let's do that. Let's see how this works as the only source of music or musicality or harmony that we have introduced. Right? Let's open this up. I'm going to add in some more drums, by the way. There we go. And it's cool to have short notes, but it's better to not keep them too short, right? Play with the filter amount as well. So you get a really choppy sound. I'm liking that. Right cymbal. And pitching it. More note length. Out. Reverb in. This is the reverb that I've got sitting on all the drums except the kick. I'll play it some more so you can hear it properly. More drums. Now you can really hear that as reverb. Because this delay and reverb was drowning that out a little bit. Take out the kick, I'll open this up because I want to really have an impact as I drop the beat. Nice one. Now hopefully that explains a little bit to what I am doing right here. Length, filter, and various drums. So if I want to take this out in a convincing way, in a compelling way, I'll go kick. And just dub it out. Nice. All right. I guess it, that's that. Now that's the way I work this thing, right? If you made it this far into the video, you're an absolute superstar. Thank you for watching. Please go to patreon.com/analogkitchen. I have uploaded a new improved version of the Dollars Bible, so more pages have been added. Go and grab yours now. Once you have already subscribed, I think you can get the update right there. It's always available. And if not, just, don't be a stranger, sign up to my Patreon page. It will not cost you millions, but it's cool, and I'd like to welcome you in there. And it gives you a leap into Discord, and that's where you talk to like-minded people, to your peers, about what you know or don't know or want to know. So that's an interesting story right there. Again, patreon.com/analogkitchen. All right, now thank you for watching. Really, I'm enjoying myself. So there's the Kitchen Club coming soon. I will keep you posted, and next week I'll tell you all about the AKM 1.0. That's the mixer that is finally entering the finalizing stage. Now, thank you for watching. Again, I said it, and peace. I'm out.